Yo, what is up, guys? Crazy Ding here. Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. We are here with a very special review, unscripted, but I'm waiting for this one for a good while. I've been wanting to do this. I want to make this video for a good while. And honestly, I'm in a rut for what I should make for videos because I'm trying to make videos while also completing games on my backlog, while also working, so it's a lot of stuff. But I was able to do this one. I have another demo video coming for Pragmata, but I want to talk about FF7 Remake first because this is the game I want people to play, because it's coming to a system where a lot of people who haven't played Final Fantasy, don't know about Final Fantasy, a lot of that stuff is there, and it's an exciting way to get new people on it. So welcome to the unscripted Final Fantasy 7 Remake integrated demo review for Switch 2. Now this is also on Xbox, but what I'm going to tell about the Switch 2 version, so if you play on Xbox, you're probably going to get a PS5 or PC experience, so you don't really need a review for that, right? You don't need anyone to tell you how that will play, right? But this is different. This is new. This is different, and I think the closest example for this will be the Steam Deck. But this is better than the Steam Deck version, and I'll explain why. So, unlike the Steam Deck version, the visuals do not take a big hit. When you're playing on the Steam Deck, you will be taking a big hit for Final Fantasy 7 Remake on the Steam Deck, as I said, because that is a PC and not a dedicated console where you have a specific dev kit, specific tools, and you build that around it, right? Obviously, they can't just throw it on the Steam Deck because they have to make a Steam Deck compatible by making the game work around those parts, and then you can upscale on a regular PC or whatever. So the Switch 2 version is a technically impressive marvel to me, and I think a lot of other people will agree with that. This game in portable mode, let's start with portable mode first. I cannot show you portable mode footage, unfortunately. I don't have a camera for that. I'm going to buy a tripod so I can do more Switch 2 comparison videos for portable and not portable my phone, but right now I don't have that, so you have to take my word for it. And in fact, if you have a Switch 2, you can just play it right now. But if you don't have a Switch 2 and you're, because you're a parent or a kid who can't get Switch 2 right now, and you're trying to get Switch 2 and it's hard to get one, and you're going to get a Switch 2 later down the line, this video is for you. Or if you're a Switch 2 owner and you don't know what this is, this video is for you. So I hope this reaches more than just Final Fantasy fans. I want this to reach everybody. Just anybody who possibly is interested. I hope this reaches you, because this version is awesome. The portable mode is 30 frames per second. There is some dips whenever there's a lot happening on screen. So there's a specific part of the game, of the demo, where a lot is happening on screen. There's a lot of fire, there's a lot of sparks, there's a lot of slashes, there's a lot of shooting, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of robots, a lot of monsters. And there's a little dip there. It goes down to, I think, 15 frames per second. I don't have a counter, so I can't be for sure. But it comes back up right away, so it's not like it's gonna be super noticeable, but just want to warn you that for portable mode. And there's also some hair issues in portable mode, like there's a hair doesn't look great at certain points. It will look off because there's no anti-aliasing, I think, for it, just specifically so they can have the frame rate stay stable. It's gonna look a little bad, but everything else looks great. The textures look great. They look PS5 quality levels, the PS5 version quality levels, for like the posters and the ground textures. If you care about all that stuff, if you're a Nintendo guy who's also a graphics freak, you have that. And the frame rate is 30, like I said. If you can't handle 30 and you want 60, that is an unfortunate thing. But maybe in the future they'll add a 720p 60 mode for portable mode and also for console, where it plays at 60 frames per second, but you're playing at 720p. I don't think people will mind that. I think it will have to have some DLSS or whatever to make this image not look grainy or whatever on Switch 2, because 720p games on Switch 2 can look a little smudgy. Xenoblade X is an example. When you play that in portable mode, it does look a little smudgy. So hopefully they can get around that in some way. But yes, you will have a great experience portable mode. It runs great. Everything looks great. But my favorite part is playing it docked with the Switch 2 Pro Controller. Now listen to my Switch 2 Pro Controller. Now you heard that, you heard those clicks, those button clicks. Now I'm late to the party, right? I didn't get my Switch 2 Pro Controller until this month of December 2025. Everyone else got theirs in June or whenever the Switch 2 came out. And everybody's like, dude, this controller's amazing, it's phenomenal. And I was like, okay, I'll get it later. I don't know if I want to pay $90. I paid the $90, I coughed up the cash, because it could go up in price eventually, and I was like, I want to have it while it's, affordable, quote unquote. And it's definitely worth the price. I honestly think it could be $85 and be fine, but it's definitely worth the money, especially for a game like this, because for a game like this, an action game, you want face buttons that are very responsive, really fast, And I think that's the thing that has over the DualSense and Xbox controller. Now, I love the DualSense, don't get me wrong, but I had a much better experience playing this with the Pro controller than I did with PS5 and Steam, specifically because the face buttons are a little smushy on the DualSense. Everything else about the DualSense I think is fantastic, but the smushiness of the face buttons can get in the way of action games. So I really had a great time with this, and I think the Switch Pro controller is going to be amazing for the rest of this trilogy. Obviously, I don't know if I'm going to get the rest of the trilogy on Switch 2. I'm going to buy this one for sure. But if you're a Switch 2 owner and you have the Pro controller, Switch 2 Pro controller, you will have a great time, even if it's 30 frames per second, because it's so responsive. The buttons click super fast. Everything feels fantastic. It's amazing. The Final Fantasy VII Remake demo starts you off with one chapter. The first chapter, the bombing mission, which is the start of the original game, and the remake, obviously. A very exciting intro. It will get you, it's exhilarating. It will get you pumped to hype for the rest of the game. You will love this if you have not played Final Fantasy VII before. It's gonna be some getting used to, and this was a problem when the game came out in 2020, where a lot of people who are used to action games were not used to how this plays. But if you never played a lot of action games, or you played like Kingdom Hearts, I think you'll be fine. If you are a Switch owner and you bought the cloud version on Switch 1, I don't know how many people did that, but if you were one of those people, I think you'll be able to deal with how this game plays. And one thing I want to say for veterans that are going to buy it again like me, one thing you have to get used to is you can either change the controls on the Switch 2's home, because they have button remapping, but the button layout is different on the Switch, so the execution of everything is different on the Switch also. So you're used to pressing circle to attack, and X to bring up the menu, and square and triangle work the exact same on here. So X and Y, X is the triangle button, Y is the square button. On Xbox, you'll be confused because those are swapped the opposite way. Everything's the opposite way compared to Nintendo. But what I really do think is hard to get used to, because I'm so used to playing this game on PlayStation, is that where A is circle. So I would attack with that, but that's pausing in this game because that is confirmed like it is on PlayStation, but for Nintendo. So confirming puts you into command menu on this, like all versions, so it's A, which is on a weird spot, and B is where X is. So I think if you play the Japanese version, if you're watching this auto dubbed, if you're a Japanese person, you'll probably be fine, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they changed it for your version too, but you should be fine with where circle and X, where A and B are, because you're used to it, I assume. I don't know how everything is over there, because I haven't played the Japanese version on PlayStation. Unfortunately, I usually do that, but I didn't do that this time. For the most part, you should be good, unless you're a PlayStation gamer or veteran. But if you're new, you're gonna be fine. So that's really it. That's all I have to say. There's not much else to really say. It's a short demo. It's about 45 minutes long if you're really good at it, an hour long if you're new. It took me about 45 minutes because I played this game to death at this point, and this is just another excuse to replay the game because I love the remake games so much. But I want people who are not used to Final Fantasy, people who have never played a Final Fantasy game before. Maybe you played Final Fantasy 16. Maybe you played on PC, and you probably got a remake on PC if you played 16 on PC, but whatever. If you've never played Final Fantasy before, if you played Kingdom Hearts but you haven't played Final Fantasy before, if you play Kingdom Hearts on the cloud, you should probably get this too. I want people who are new to the franchise to try this demo more than people who are used to the franchise to buy this demo. Now, obviously, if you're, this is your franchise, you're gonna obviously be there for this, but I really am recommending this to new players mostly. But if you're a veteran and you're like, hey, I want to play this portably, I want to replay this again, you don't have a Steam Deck, but you have a Switch 2, well, there you go. Switch 2 version is great. I do think it's a good alternative to the PlayStation 5 version, and I'm excited to see how it is in later parts of the game where there's more effects going on. But from what we've seen in the trailers, it looks like it runs fantastically, so I'm excited to replay this on Switch 2, and I hope new players buy this game and have a great time. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great day, and peace from Where's Your Games, everybody.